Hi and welcome to this new timeless reading. Let's take a look at what is going on energetically and what frequency is currently activating. It's going to be in 3 cards. The first one is the frequency details. The second one is what can be released to accelerate integration. And the third one is advice on the whole process. So let's see what is now accessible etherically. And we have the 6 of Wands. And I usually get grounding energy from this card. And I also get movement and protection. So it's pretty much guided, fearless movement, because there is this sensation of protection that is now activating, which was not available previously. And I'm also getting the backstory to the availability of that frequency in the collective, and it's very much related to a lot of world events currently. It feels like we're in a pressure cooker, and there's a lot of forces pushing their mechanisms or systems at us. Like, I don't go into too much details, but wherever you live in the world, you're probably sensing that in one aspect or another. And feeling that collectively people felt unsafe seeing that so much is going on around them, which is pretty much a given. That's the whole point. Sorry, for some reason my throat keeps restricting, which is not normal for me, and it very much feels like something is trying to interfere, so I don't tell you this, because what I'm about to tell you is how we actually create, download, and activate those frequencies, and how they come to exist, how they come to fruition. So I'll try once more. And it's as people experience difficult circumstances, and this is like a signal that is extremely individual to begin with. That's where it begins, in the soul, in the seat of the heart. And it's pretty much when you experience something that's goes against what you know to be right and does not align with how you feel the future should be for you and others, and it doesn't come from a selfish perspective. This type of signal comes from desiring protection for self and everybody else, because there's a deep understanding that you're not, if you're safe only by yourself, you'll still suffer immensely seeing people you love and others going through it. So you realize you need that. So you're calling for that. See, it's doing that again. So you're calling for assistance, higher assistance, and for the signal to be received, it has to be very soul-based as an energy, love-based as almost like a color, and what propels it into a beam towards the egregore is the selflessness of it all. It has to go beyond just your own safety. It has to desire it deeply for you and everybody involved in the situation. And at this point, it's most likely humanity, or even if it's people around you, as long as you desire safety for more than yourself, it actually does create a signal. So as this frequency comes into being, is many people witness a lot of things they disagree with and come to generate that signal. See, it's doing it again. It's crazy. I never had that in any message. And as you do that, it shoots up, creates an egregore, which is where the energy pulls and gathers and amplifies, and then it becomes very potent and very real, and it then wants to come down into matter and influence reality. And that's the full cycle, of downloading, generating, creating and activating frequencies. Yeah, I don't know why that felt like such an effort to explain, but I also understand that I've never heard anyone or came across any type of information that does explain it. So I hope it's useful and makes sense to you. Like, please let me know. And yeah, so this is very good because it means there's a protection available and it creates a confidence in moving forward. And now what can we release in order to activate this in the best way possible? Damn. Yeah, and it's the Empress, and it's the outdated, I'd say, feminine. It's strange because what I'm seeing are like negative feminine qualities, like manipulation, control, like over worrying, and very much trying to control people you are worried about. So if you're like a parent, worrying about your children is actually cloaking them in dark energies. You're almost pretty much projecting dark energy over them, and they will in turn consequently attract more of that dark energy because they're clouded in it, like it's kind of like all around them. And this needs to stop. I don't know, like actually when you worry about your children, you're just not able to manage your own emotions. You really need to trust yourself much deeper and trust their souls and incarnation much deeper. Of course, physically speaking, everything that should be taken care of has to be. Like, you still do your best and take care of things, but you have to understand if you're carrying worry at all times and trying to influence situations, that's a you problem. That's you being agitated by dark energies and dark forces. And when you go towards your dependence and people that love you around you with that energy, you're pretty much like indirectly cursing them. I'm not even kidding. Like, personally, I'm very sensitive to that type of stuff. And I can always sense 1,000% when people are like worrying about me, and it's usually they don't have all the information. We've never had a proper conversation, so they don't know what I'm actually really dealing with or whatever. And it just does feel like heavy negative energy, because at the core of it, that's the color and frequency of it. It's people projecting something that they're not managing within themselves. If you want to shield someone you care about, it's to trust your bond with them and to put even more faith in their soul, and visualizing maybe like a powerful like shield of light, like a bubble of light around them. And that's a much better use of your projection, if you will. And the best thing to do is to not even do any of it to some extent and trust the whole process. But still, like, I understand when you worry about somebody, it's kind of hard sometimes. Like, if I had like a relative in the hospital or something, like, you can't just not care. But every time I'm about to like worry and turn it into heavy energy, I choose to catch myself and be like trusting in the process of life and send them safety. And now, what is the advice? And we have the Two of Swords, and it's pretty much saying when you activate that type of energy in your life, it does create separation from people who operate in the old way. That's something to keep in mind. That's something that actually gets witnessed much more sharply nowadays. People sense that you're not operating in the same mindset as they are, and it can be super triggering for them. But it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means they're not ready to go there just yet. And please keep embodying, keep and training with your frequency, and make sure you take care of yourself. So I hope this resonated. Let me know.